The library that erases you if you read the wrong book. They call it the archivist's annex. Not publicly, of course, on the city map, it's just listed as Municipal Storage B6. But if you've ever wandered into the rust-colored building just behind the east wing of the city library, the one with the boarded-up windows and the strange buzz in the air, then you already know it's not just a storage unit. It's a library. A secret one. A place where books go when they've been forgotten, or when they remember too much. I found it by mistake. I was researching obscure legal precedents for a case I'd been working on, and someone, I don't remember who, and that's already terrifying, told me the annex had original records. The kind of originals that predate copies, digitization, and sometimes memory itself. Inside, there was dust. Not the kind that settles, the kind that hangs in the air like breath in cold weather. The smell was old paper, rust, and something faintly sweet, like overripe fruit. Rows of shelves formed impossible corridors, too long to fit in the building's footprint, and stacked high in ways that forced your eyes to forget what normal was. The man at the desk didn't speak, just slid me a slip of paper with a list of rules. He looked like he hadn't blinked in a decade. His skin had the texture of wax that's been too close to a flame. The rules of the archivist's annex. 1. Do not take photographs. The annex doesn't like to be remembered that way. 2. Do not ask for a specific title. If the book wants to be found, it will find you. 3. Never read aloud. Not even a whisper. Sound feeds what lives in the margins. 4. If a book is warm to the touch, return it to the shelf immediately. Do not look inside. 5. Should you see a second version of yourself between the shelves, leave the book and exit. 6. Do not stay past your shadow fading. The annex closes when memory slips. 7. Above all, if a book has your name on it, do not read. I didn't believe the rules at first. I thought it was just a local scare tactic, a bit of theatrical flair to stop people from stealing whatever dusty secrets were boxed inside. But then I pulled a book from the shelf. It wasn't titled. Just bound in deep blue leather that shimmered faintly. It felt cold, and when I flipped through it, I saw my own name. Not just on the spine, on every page. The book was writing itself as I read. Memories, events, thoughts, things I hadn't even told anyone. And then came the pages with entries that hadn't happened. Future moments. Arguments I hadn't had yet. Pain I hadn't felt. And then blank pages. Just dozens and dozens of them, waiting. I felt something behind me. Breathing. Reading over my shoulder. I turned, but nothing was there. Not visibly. That was the last time I saw the sun for what felt like hours. I tried to leave, but the rows had changed. The shelves bent around me like shifting walls in a nightmare. I ran. I screamed, breaking rule number 3, and something stirred. Something slithered between the books. When I finally reached the front desk again, the man was gone. In his place was another book, resting where he'd been. It had his name on it. I still dream about the shelves. Sometimes I wake up and my bookshelf looks different. Sometimes I find slips of paper with new rules. Ones that aren't on the original list. Updated rules, that arrived at my door last week. 8. Do not discuss the annex online. 9. If a blank book appears on your shelf, do not open it. Burn it. 10. If you've read this far, you've already turned a page. I don't go near libraries anymore. I don't read physical books. I avoid my reflection in mirrors, because sometimes I see myself still trapped between the shelves, still flipping pages that haven't been written yet. If you ever find the archivist's annex, run. Burn the directions. And whatever you do, don't check the books for your name. Because if you find it, the next page might be your last. I burned the book. I thought that would end it. I doused it in lighter fluid, struck the match with shaking hands, and watched the blue leather curl and blacken. The flames licked hungrily at the pages, and for a moment, I thought I heard screaming. Not mine. Not from the street. From inside the fire. But that wasn't the end. That night, I woke up with ash on my pillow. Not flakes. Not dust. A perfectly shaped handprint in soot, pressed where my head had lain. And on my desk? A new book. Same shimmering leather. But this time, it wasn't blank. It started where the last one left off. It knew what I had done. The fire. The rules I'd broken. The dreams I had tried to forget. And it had added a new section, one that hadn't been in the first copy. Consequences. 1. Fire is not a destroyer here. It's a summoner. 2. Once the archivist writes your name, there is no erasing it. 3. Every book you burn becomes a door. And something always steps through. 4. You owe a replacement. The shelves demand balance. I moved the book to the garage, locked it in a toolbox, and buried it under weights. It didn't matter. The next morning, it was back on my bedside table. Open. On a page describing my dreams before I'd had them. Describing me sitting up at 2:34 a.m., sweating, reading these very words. I couldn't sleep after that. It's not just one book anymore. They're multiplying. Piling up. Appearing on shelves I don't own. I donated furniture. Burned others. Nothing helps. I even went back to the annex, or tried to. It's gone. Where the rust-colored building once stood as a parking lot, freshly paved. When I asked the city, they said storage B6 never existed. There's no record. Not even in the records office. And when I insisted, when I mentioned the archivist, the woman behind the counter suddenly stood up, walked into the back room, and never came out again. I waited an hour. No one else came. The police didn't believe me. My family stopped answering my calls. Even the emails I've sent myself vanished from my inbox within minutes, as though the story is folding in on itself, editing reality as I go. But that's the worst part. The part I haven't told anyone. I found a mirror yesterday. Not one I remember buying. It was propped against my closet door, dusty, warped. And when I looked in, my reflection stared back a second too late. Like it was waiting. It blinked before I did. And behind me, just over my shoulder, was the archivist. Final rules. These weren't printed. They were carved into my bedroom wall overnight. 1. Don't read your reflection. It remembers pages you forgot. 2. If you start writing things down, stop. That's how the archivist recruits new shelves. 3. The books you read write you back. 4. Don't tell others. The more you know, the longer the shelves grow. 5. Never finish the story. That's how they bind the cover shut. But I already have. I finished writing this. I can't stop. My hands won't. Even now, they're twitching, trying to turn the page. And when I glance down, I swear this entire file, this entry, is being transcribed in a book lying just out of sight, one shelf over, waiting. Please. If you find a book with your name on it, don't read it. Don't even touch it. Walk away. Burn your library card. Never say the word annex again. Because the archivist isn't just cataloging stories. He's building a collection. And your soul, your entire life, is just a footnote waiting to happen. You're not reading this on a screen anymore, are you? Check again. This is a page now. And it already knows your name. The book is getting louder. I don't mean in the metaphorical sense, like the way a nightmare nags at the back of your mind. I mean audibly louder. It hums now. Low, like a machine idling beneath the floorboards. Every hour it grows in pitch, like it's winding up for something. My ears bleed when I try to sleep. Worse, it started turning its own pages. Yesterday, I caught it mid-flip. The pages weren't moved by wind or drafts, no, they fluttered upward, like something was reading it from below, fingers dragging invisible lines across the text. I watched as my next thoughts appeared, written in the margins in my own handwriting, only I hadn't written them yet. At 3:12 p.m., you will open the door. He will be waiting. I laughed. A bitter, desperate bark. I thought, I won't open the door. But at exactly 3:12 p.m., I heard knocking. 3 soft taps. Then a fourth. Then silence. And before I even realized it, I was standing by the door, hand on the handle, hard hammering as if something else had moved me there. Like I'd been pulled from within. That's when I saw it, written in fog on the peephole glass. Read me. I didn't open it. God help me, I didn't. But I know that one day, I will. Every night now, I hear the shelves creaking. Not mine. His. The archivist's library. It stretches forever in my dreams, books that breathe, spines that twitch, and whispers between the covers. I see people there. Their eyes are stitched open with fine silver thread, heads bowed over books they can't stop reading. Some have been reading for years. Their pages spill from their mouths when they speak. I saw myself there last night. Not a dream, I don't think so. I woke up with ink on my teeth. Revised rules, they change as the story evolves. 1. If the book writes ahead of you, it's no longer a book. It's a script. 2. You are no longer the reader. You are the character. 3. Refuse the plot, and the archivist will rewrite you entirely. 4. If you find a page describing your death, don't blink. That's when he steps through. 5. Destroying the book binds your soul as the next blank copy. I tried giving the book away. Left it in a little free library downtown. Next morning, it was on my pillow, spine cracked open to a page that said, "You tried to pass me on. Now you owe two." Two? That's when my phone rang. My sister. Breathless. Shaking. "Did you leave something at my place?" she asked. "It's a book. It has my name in it. It's telling me when I'm going to die." I screamed at her not to read it. Too late. She didn't answer when I called back. Her voicemail just plays static now, but if you listen long enough, there's a voice under the buzz. Whispers. Telling my story. Telling yours, too, now. I have one last warning. This is not fiction. This isn't for fun. If you found this entry, if you read this far, then you've already been logged. Your name's already in the margins. Your version of the book is already writing itself. There's only one rule left. Don't look for the archivist. Because you'll find him. And when you do, he'll be holding a pen. Smiling. As he turns the page to your chapter.